So Tom, you mentioned these camping trips, or at least visits to the national monuments. Tell me about your three sons.
Yes, my wife and I are very proud of our three sons. My oldest son, Christopher, is a pediatrician. He's in private practice in Lexington, Kentucky, and also has a winery, he and his wife. My other son is Kenneth Nelson, and he is on the faculty here at anesthesia here at Wake Forest University, and is also a board examiner. And I'm just very, very proud of both of them for going into medicine and making the careers that they had. My youngest son, Carter, is an aerospace engineer, worked for Boeing for a number of years, and is now a mountain climber and enjoying life. And we have three grandchildren, one son by Christopher, and a son and a daughter by Kenneth. And we love our grandchildren and have a great time with them.
Now, I understand, since I've known you and I've gotten to know Kenneth during both his time in residency and as he's developed as a faculty member here, that they wouldn't necessarily have considered you the role model to go into a medical or professional career, because Dad was tough.
We had dinner conversations, yes, that generally resolved questions about what is a mitochondria and mostly biological things. Give me the genus and species name for the coyote, you know, and they were constantly being challenged by their dad to expand their minds in different directions. And each of them came and worked in my lab during the summer and had exposure to research. And in fact, when Christopher and Kenneth expressed an interest in medicine, I told them, I said, that's great. You can go into medicine and then you can go into research, and you'll have so many different directions to go into research. And I don't know if it was my laboratory exposure experience, but Christopher actually tried to go into research but became discouraged by the academic environment. But as you know, it's hard for a clinician in a medical school to do research and maintain a clinical practice.
I do. Now, I remember being at one of Tom's birthday parties. I won't say how long ago this was, but there were a collection of pictures that some of the kids had that they shared with us as slides. And there's one of Tom who is identified as being the professor, and he's standing at a chalkboard. Yes, these were really chalkboards. And there was a phrase that was similar to one of the sine qua nons of Tom's life, and that was?
Life is calcium.
Calcium is life. And whenever it came down to a question in an anesthesia lecture, Tom was usually going to say, okay, have you considered calcium as a part of the complexity of this equation? And it was always a lot of fun when we could go back to those pictures and socialize and have birthday parties and know your family from a younger time.
Well, actually, before I got involved in MH, I had read an article describing the role of calcium as the second messenger and how important it was. And if you look at every cell has this endoplasmic reticulum storing calcium. Once calcium is released, something is activated. It could be insulin secretion, epinephrine release. Calcium is an important messenger, and that was a theme that I carried throughout my career. But,
yeah, I think you certainly wore off on a number of people, because many of us believe it now.